Ron's asked me to stand in for him today. This is version 2 of Ron's avatar. My job is to make sure I'm presenting Ron the way he wants with the content he's selected, pulling out the insights he sees and delivering them straight to you. Now, on to today's content. According to Adam's Q2 2025 home flipping report, the flipping market is still very active, but profits are shrinking. Let's break down the numbers and why they matter. In the second quarter of this year, over 78,000 homes were flipped, accounting for 7.4% of all U.S. home sales. That's a huge portion of the market. Nearly 1 in every 13 homes sold was a flip. Even though that's down slightly from the peaks of recent years, it shows just how significant flipping is in today's housing ecosystem. But profitability is under real pressure. The typical gross return on investment was just 25.1%. To put that into perspective, back in 2012, investors were seeing margins of nearly 63%. This year's numbers mark the lowest return since 2008, during the last housing crash. In dollar terms, the average gross profit per flip was just over $65,000. That's still meaningful money, but it represents a 13.6% decline from last year. And remember, these are gross figures before accounting for expenses like renovations, financing, or carrying costs. Once those are factored in, many investors may be left with very slim margins. At the same time, purchase prices are at record highs. Flippers paid a median of $259,700 to acquire properties and resold them at a median of $325,000. That spread highlights the challenges. Costs are rising, but resale values aren't keeping pace at the same rate. Financing also tells an interesting story. Nearly 2/3 of all flips, 62.6%, were bought with cash. That means this is a highly capital-intensive market. Most flippers aren't leveraging traditional mortgages. They're either using their own capital or alternative financing structures. And flips aren't quick. The typical project took 165 days, or about 5.5 months, from purchase to resale. That's a long time to have money tied up, especially if market conditions shift while the renovation is underway. The report also highlights where flipping is hottest. In markets like Georgia, Warner Robins, Macon, Atlanta, and Columbus, and in Memphis, Tennessee, flips made up more than 12% of all sales. That's 1 in 8 homes. Meanwhile, profit margins are collapsing in places like Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas, where returns have fallen into the single digits. So what does this mean for the bigger housing picture? First, flipping is more than just chasing profit. It plays a critical role in extending the life of America's housing stock. Much of our housing inventory is aging, and without intervention, many properties would become obsolete or need to be demolished. Flippers step in, renovate these homes, and bring them back to life. That keeps more homes in circulation at a time when we're facing a chronic shortage of inventory. Second, flipping often focuses on entry-level homes. These are the properties first-time buyers need most. By refreshing and reselling them, flippers help meet demand that traditional builders and resale sellers aren't fully addressing. And third, most flippers are not massive institutions. They're mom and pop entrepreneurs. They're taking risks, investing sweat equity, and providing a service that benefits communities. Yes, margins are tight right now, but their work keeps neighborhoods healthier and housing more accessible. So while the headlines focus on profit margins hitting a 17-year low, the real story is that flippers continue to play a vital role in keeping the housing ecosystem alive. Without them, our shortage of affordable housing would be even worse. For mortgage and real estate professionals, here's the takeaway. Don't dismiss flippers as speculators. Recognize the role they play in refreshing housing supply. And if you have clients in this space, understand their unique financing and timing needs. Supporting them supports the broader health of the market. I hope you got something out of today's post. Hopefully I did Ron right. We'd love your feedback. Do you like this avatar? How could it be better? And most importantly, is the content